Jamie Lewis, and welcome back to thebasis.net for the very first episode of the Money Notes. I'm rich, God! This is going to be an ongoing series highlighting some of my favorite bass lines of all time. And I'm not just going to show you how to play them. We're also going to dissect these grooves together and really try to figure out what it is that makes them so awesome to begin with. That way, you can begin to incorporate some of those tricks and create your own bass lines. So let's just jump right in. Go ahead and grab a bass, tune it up, and also make sure that you've downloaded the PDF file and the play along tracks for this lesson. You're gonna find links to that stuff in the description just below this video. And the song that we're gonna be looking at today is called Spiderwebs by the band No Doubt. Spiderwebs was the opening track on No Doubt's 1995 release, Tragic Kingdom, and Tony Kanal was the bass player on this song. And in my opinion, this is one of the greatest bass lines of all time. It is a quintessential example of how to command the money notes for a number of reasons. Number one, it makes me smile every time I hear it, and I think that's a great starting point. If your initial reaction to something is physical, palpable joy that I can see with my own eyes, then I know we're onto something. And secondly, this is like one of the first bass lines that I can remember paying attention to. In 1995, I was about 8 or 9 years old. I'd been playing bass for about a year, and the songs that I was playing was like Wild Thing or barely the part for Purple Haze. My brother, on the other hand, had been playing bass for about a year. And I remember hearing him practice and just walking by his bedroom and go, wait, that sounds awesome. What in the world is that? That's not just a bass part doubling what the guitar is doing or playing some simple line. Like it's a bass line. It's like the featured part of the song, and it's really, really awesome. But setting aside all of those nostalgic feelings that I have for this song, it still holds up all these years later as an amazing bass line. So let's get technical and have a look under the hood. If you're looking at the PDF file right now, you'll see that it begins on a B-flat major triad, and we're just gonna go root, third, fifth, and then right back down the way we came. It'll look like this. And by the way, if I'm losing you with any of this music theory mumbo jumbo, don't worry, I've got you covered. There's an entire music theory and ear training curriculum here at thebasis.net. So just click on this link right here and I'll catch you up to speed. But anyways, after that B flat chord, we're gonna have an F major triad, and we're also gonna arpeggiate this chord, but a little bit differently. This time the pattern goes root, root, third, fifth, and then back down to the root, just like this. So right off the bat, I'm hearing a pattern here, and that's your first red flag, right? I mean, watch. We've got two back-to-back chords, both of them being tackled with ascending arpeggios that come right back to where they started. That is clearly a pattern. So take a mental note, because we're gonna be coming back to that later. And then next we have this G minor chord, but we're gonna ditch the arpeggio patterns and we're gonna move to playing scales, going root, second, third, and then right back down the way we came, just like this. And then we get to this E flat chord, and same thing, we're not doing arpeggios, we're gonna keep this kind of scalular motion, which I think I just invented a word, but either way, it ends up looking like this. So again, we have another pattern happening here, right? The first two chords, we hit it with arpeggios. The next two chords, we're playing scales or stepwise motion. And then let's also take into consideration not just the melodic patterns, but also the rhythmic patterns, right? Bar number one goes dot, da, 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 dot. Bar number two, dot, dot, da, da, dot. Bar number three mirrors the same rhythm from bar number one, except instead of using arpeggios, it uses scales, dot, da, 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 dot. Right, and then on bar four, da 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 da. So combine all of that together with the halftime drum groove and the counterpoint that this melody is playing against the horn line. Man, this is fresh, it's unexpected, and best of all, it is money. So there's a lot to chew on here, and I know we're being very technical at the moment, but anytime that something catches my attention or my ears perk up and I'm like, ooh, what was that? These are the kinds of questions that I ask, and these are the types of observations that I try to make. Because if I can pinpoint those details within the context of that song, that also means I can take them out of context and throw them into my own bass line. So step number one, we already did it. learn the original bass line in its original context. Step number 2, analyze that bass line and try to figure out from a very technical standpoint what's going on under the hood, which in this case is a 4-chord progression. First 2 chords, let's arpeggiate. Second 2 chords, let's play a scale. Easy enough, so let's move on to step number 3, which is taking this formula that we learned and applying it to a completely different song. Maybe something a little bit more rock and with a shuffled kind of feel, just like this. Say I want to do something a little bit more active than just playing the roots. All right, so let's literally do an organ transplant here. Let's take the bass line from Spiderwebs and apply it over these chords. So instead of B flat to F to G minor to E flat, our chords in this case are D, A, F sharp minor, and E. So that would look just like this. Now, I know that I had to change a couple of the notes because, in Spiderwebs, it was a major chord, but in this song, now it's minor. So I had a few things to do, plus we swung the 8th note instead of playing it straight. But still, all I did is I took the exact bass line from Spiderwebs and just threw it over a new set of chord changes in a new musical context, and it totally works. So that's a great starting point. And by the way, knowing all of your scales, and in particular your modes, makes doing what I just did very easy. So if you're not as fast at it or you don't know how to do what I just did, don't worry, there's an entire series here at thebassist.net called Essential Scales. Just click on this link right here and I'll take you right to it. So what I want to do is take this a step further and make it my bass line. And to do that, I'm going to rely heavily on that formula. So remember, it was 2 bars of arpeggios, 2 bars of scales. That's what Tony did on Spiderwebs. So let's apply that same formula to these new set of chord changes. And there you have it. We just came up with a unique original bass line that started from someone else's idea. And then we kept developing it. And to me, that's the best part, right? We learned a really cool bass line, and then we used music theory and observation and science and math to analyze it and figure out the formula. And then we applied that formula to something new, and we ended up in a place that was totally different from where we started. And in my opinion, it doesn't get any more money than that. I'm rich, bitch! So I hope you had fun today, and if you have any questions or you need help with this stuff, feel free to drop me a message in the comments section just below this video, and I promise I'll get right back to you just as soon as I can. And also, make sure that you've downloaded the PDF file and both of the backing tracks for this lesson. You'll find them in the link just below this video. Until next time, have an awesome week, and I'll see you again here at thebassist.net for another episode of The Money Notes. Hey, if you like what I do, then please do me a favor, give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel by clicking on this button right over here. And if you really like what I do, come hang out with me at thebassist.net by clicking on this button right here. New episodes of The Bassist Podcast go live each and every week, and until next time, I'll see you again here at thebassist.net.